today we're going to talk about postcard marketing, which is actually very, very important. You know, I'm sure you heard about the word farming, and there are many tools for real estate agents to do farming and prospecting. I hate the word prospecting, but for me, postcard marketing is one of my favorite actually, because I feel it, I touch it, I see it, I know exactly what I'm trying to say, and I know my target. So obviously before you start this, you need to make sure that you have a farm area where you live, where your kids go to school, where you do most of your business. So for me, it's about 500 to 7,500 people, and I make it regularly. The key to real estate and any sort of sales job or any sort of success, no matter what you do, is consistency. And you know, in this area, in my experience of 15 years, I know agents who are in the business for 20, 30 years. And if you meet them, they're very nice, but you would think twice, like, why they make so much money and why they're so successful? Because they're consistent at what they do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You just use traditional and obviously new tools, but you need to pick one or two that fits your lifestyle, that makes you happy, that makes that you feel motivated about every day when you wake up and do this business, and be consistent about it. So okay, so let's talk about specifically postcard marketing. So there are many agents who can outsource this, and they have an agency who they do have kind of a, to me, very ugly, very unprofessional, very kind of cliche card. If that's what you believe in and that's what you like, that's okay, but it's not for us. It's not for peer-to-peer brokers, and it's not for Blake and I. So we definitely, everything we do and everything in my life is kind of thought through, and I like pretty things, I like designery things, I like things that unique and different, informative, and kind of for the target. And it's not cheap, so you spend about between $1,500 to $2,500 a month. You have to do it obviously monthly or maybe bi-weekly even. So it's really kind of expensive, but it's working, because if they see your face and if you see that you are working, you're an active agent. And you know, today in this crazy social media world, obviously you do social media marketing too, but sometimes things get lost. But still, to me, when you pick up the mail, especially my husband, he loves getting mail, not junk mail, but he loves getting mail. He's excited about it every day. So, I mean, that's his little joy. But it's nice when you have your magazine or a nice handwritten card or a nice postcard. So that's why I think postcard marketing is still working, and it's a great way to generate business, and it's a great way to get your name out in the community. So for me, what really works and what we like to do is well, we kind of switch it up. So for instance, this month, this week, I'm gonna send out 7,500 cards, and it's about recent sales, what we did in the summertime. We had about 12, 15 transactions. So I'm talking about what sold, what we sold, and it's mainly in the neighborhood what I'm obviously targeting. I did a kind of quote from one of our clients, and in the back of the card, what I think is very important is you always need to give some information, call to action. And I know it sometimes looks like it's a lot of text, but at the end of the day, people do like to read. And if it's well written, useful, it works and people will read it. So in this case, I'm talking about the different marketing tools that I use when I list a property. And obviously here in the front, I'm talking about what we sold, and in the back, therefore, I'm talking about how we sold this house, what kind of tools we use in this house. And obviously it's very important to have a nice photo of you. Don't make cheese ball photos like this, typical, cheesy shots. I like, photos that are in action. I like photos that kind of shows, who you are, maybe with your dog, with your family. But it has to be obviously professionally done. You have to have a professional photographer. You have to have nice clothes, makeup in an action, so it's not like somebody made it in a cell phone. And as you see, I use kind of an oversized card, so I can communicate many information on the card. Now, the way how I send these out, I use EDDM, Every Door Direct, through the post office. So I have a fantastic printer. They print the cards with a special stamp, and it's much cheaper than a regular stamp what you can buy at the post office. So I do it in bulk, but I do it, believe it or not, I'm busy, crazy busy, but I love doing this because I love to feel it, I love to drop it off, I love to see my baby kind of going out. Let me show you some other cards which we did in the past. Obviously, once you have a target farm, which you're probably gonna do 20, 30 forever, when it really takes a long time to put your name out there. You need to be, funny. You need to have, be interesting. Not look, same card. If you send out the same card over and over again, I think it's kind of boring and people are just not going to be interested. So, for instance, when we have a really cool house, which we like to communicate that it's for sale or it's in escrow or it's sold, we put obviously pretty pictures and we just communicate the house on the front of the card. But at the back, we say something, a nice quote or something interesting, a story that, a press release, what we did, some different information always in the back. But the front is definitely the most important part of the card. On this case, we did again many sales. We had a crazy busy month, so we communicated the sales in the front. But then the back, we did the marketing, but visually. What kind of marketing we do, the 24/7 open house, HD photography, cinematic videos, social media, and obviously to always have a call to action. Call me for free market report. Here is my phone number, here is my email. So obviously you have to have your contact info and communication, how they can reach you. In this case, this is a funny card. It definitely stands out when you get it in the mailbox. It talks about, our campaigns, how much, for instance, in this case, we had 8,000 likes, 900 comments, 350,000 impressions. It's just kind of a funny, interesting way to communicate, what kind of attraction we have through social media. Because it is very important to incorporate social media in your marketing campaign. In today's world, everything is online. So if you're not on social media, then you're pretty much dead in the water. In this one, I communicated I love fashion. I love my little fashion blog and wearing different outfits. So obviously you need to kind of communicate your personality because this is your communication tool to your farm, to your neighborhood. So in this case, we communicated our different kind of outfits, different looks, who I am and who I am behind, a salesperson and being a broker of peer-to-peer brokers. And in the back, we have an amazing weekly podcast, which my husband, this is kind of his role in the company, and obviously I tag along, or we have different speakers. So we communicate the podcast in the back. So definitely what I'm emphasizing, it has to be informative, it has to have purpose, you have to know what you're trying to reach and what you're trying to communicate, and you need to be consistent. This is the key to wherever you are, whatever you do, any success, the consistency. And this is what people fail in. When you start this business, if you're not consistent at what you do, you pretty much gonna fail. Whatever you do, you need to be consistent and you need to believe in it, because if you believe in it, you can do it. So this is kind of my take on postcard marketing.